Let's begin by taking a quick overview of the session view and also just talking about some of the ground rules for using it. So we can toggle between the session view and the arrangement view by using these two buttons up here. The horizontal lines are going to represent the arrangement view. The vertical lines represent the session view. We can also use the tab key to flip back and forth between the two. You can see that currently in my arrangement view, it's empty. I don't have any clips, but I do have these 5 tracks: drums, percussion, bass, pad, and vocal. If I flip over to the session view, I also have the same 5 tracks: drums, percussion, bass, pad, and vocal. So it's kind of like we've taken the tracks in the arrangement view and we flipped them up on their side so they're stacked vertically here in the session view. But you can also see in session view that I have clips on each of these 5 tracks. So the clips here are going to show up as just little colored rectangles on these little boxes here. These are called clip slots. So if I hit play on one of these clips, I'm going to hit play on the drums clip here. This clip is currently set up to loop. You can see this loop button is turned on down here. So this will just continue to loop forever and ever until I stop it. If I want to stop a clip, I can use one of the stop buttons on one of these empty clip slots. I can also stop a clip by using the stop button down here. This stop button will always be present just above the mixer controls. I can show and hide my mixer controls by clicking this button down here. I'm going to leave them open for now though. But yeah, you'll always see that stop button there. Even if the mixer controls are gone, you can see there's a little stop clips button here. So the vertical columns here are called the tracks, right? These horizontal rows, if we kind of look across from left to right, these are called scenes. And if we look over here on the main track, we can see the scenes are numbered here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And as I click on a scene, you can see it kind of gives us this bluish, whitish highlight over the scene. It's just kind of highlighting all of the stuff that's lined up in that row. So I can play a clip by just clicking the play button that's present on any one of the clips. Here's my vocal here. Bring in the pad. We'll bring in a few of these elements here. If I go over here to the main track though, and I click on one of the scenes, you notice there's a play button here as well. If I click that, that's going to play everything across, all of the clips that are lined up across in the scene from left to right. So one of the fundamental rules of the session view, I'm going to stop playback for a second here. One of the fundamental rules is that we can play as many clips as we want to on different tracks or from left to right, but only one clip at a time can play from top to bottom. So for example, let me stop all of my clips. Now I can do that one by one by using these buttons down here, or I can stop all of my clips by going over to the main track, and then I can click this stop button here. This is literally called the stop all clips button. That's going to stop the playback of all my clips. But if I wanted to take another sample here and put it on another clip slot on the same drums track, for example, so let's open my browser. Let's go to my core library. And by the way, all of these samples that I'm using, these are all just loops that I found in Ableton Live's core library. So if you go down here to packs and you go to core library, you can find them all here under samples. But let's say I wanted to find another drum beat. Sure, let's take that one. And I want to drag and drop it in here on one of these empty clip slots. If I hit play on this drums clip, close the browser here, and then I hit play on the next one, it stops this one. So only one clip at a time can play from top to bottom, but as many as we want can play from left to right across on different tracks. So as you're hopefully starting to see, the session view can be used to, loop ideas and get new ideas started and start to build things in a very non-linear way, which can be a lot of fun, just having some of these parts loop as you're exploring and looking for other loops, other samples to bring in. And it's also worth noting that you can actually combine clips from the session view and the arrangement view. So let's say, for example, let me find a different drum loop. Let's dig here. Let's get another one of these drum and bass loops. Let's try this rolling one here. I like that. We're going to replace that break. Okay, sure. So let me just take one of these. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it over here into the arrangement view, and we're just going to extend it out maybe for 49 bars. Sure. Now you'll notice that all of my tracks, or these areas where the clips would be on the tracks in the arrangement view, they're all grayed out right now. And that's because I've been playing clips from the session view here. So in the same way that only one clip at a time can play from top to bottom here, only one clip at a time can play per view, session view or arrangement view, per track. So these are all grayed out, as I said, because I've been playing clips in session view. If I want to reset what is laid out here in the arrangement view and stop all the clip playbacks in the session view, I can use this orange back to arrangement button. You see it shows up here in the session view. you'll see it pop up here in the arrangement view. So if I click that, it's going to kind of revert back so we can see, okay, everything's back and ready to play in the arrangement view. Right now we just have this one loop. And if you flip over to session view, we see that all my clips have stopped. We don't have those green play buttons lit up anymore. So let me just hit play. I'm going to stop, go to the beginning of the arrangement and hit play. You'll notice that the playhead is always kind of ticking through and playing in the background. So we've got this loop playing here. I'm just going to set up my loop brace so it doesn't stop. So that's just continuing to play here for 49 bars, but I can let that play and then bring in other parts or other clips here and just kind of audition them on top of it. So they're not playing from the arrangement. They're playing from session view, but I can hear what they sound like with any content that I have in my arrangement. Bring the vocal in. Maybe we'll bring the pad in as well. So we can take stuff that we've already written and try out some new stuff over it without worrying about dragging and dropping it into the arrangement or where it's going to be placed, just purely listening to it and seeing if we like it. I think all of these sound pretty cool together. So again, if I want to revert back to what's in my arrangement, I can hit the back to arrangement button. We'll hit it from here. It's just going to go back to what was playing in my arrangement view. You'll also notice, let me hit play on the vocal track again. You'll notice that each track, I'll play another one, play the bass. Each track, when I play a clip on it in session view, that track kind of grays out in the arrangement view, but you also see this button here. This is basically just going to revert back to what's in the arrangement view, but solely for that track. So this will do it for everything, right? But if I just want to hit back to arrangement for the vocal track, I can click this button. Now the vocal has stopped, but our bass is still playing. It's playing from session view though, right? So we can start to mix and match clips together. One last thing I'll mention before we move on is that the scenes over here on the right-hand side, we start out with 20 of them, which is usually plenty. But if you want to create more scenes, you can press Command-I to create as many scenes as you want to. I don't know that there is a limit. I've never tested the limits of this, but I've never run out of scenes here. So in the next video, we'll look at some of the rules for playing and launching clips and how we can start to bring new clips and new samples into our session view.